What is up guys, my name is XrayCosmo and welcome back to another video. Before I start, I just want to thank all of you guys for 1K, it's absolutely crazy and it means so much to me that 1,000 people want to watch my videos. And to everyone who joined the countdown to summer games on Tuesday, I love talking to you guys in chat, so maybe that calls for more streams that are not just event countdowns. So today Blizzard released some huge nerfs for a lot of heroes. They recently said that within these patch notes that they are deliberately going straight for the shield meta, especially the tanks and Brig. Now here in the past we have seen in my patch note videos, if you guys have watched them, Brig has just been getting bullied by Blizzard completely. It makes me think of like a situation where someone is getting beat up and you feel bad like when you see them getting beat up and you want to go help them, but then you see who's getting beat up, in this case Brig, and you walk away and pretend you saw nothing, especially me with one of my mains being Tracer. I have hated Brig for such a long time, and as much as she's literally being lasered in the ground right now, I really don't care, to be honest. So Brig's base health has been lowered from 200 to 150, and her Inspire total healing decreased from 130 to 90, healing reduced from 21 to 15 per second, self-healing is no longer reduced by half. So the base health nerf, she still has 50 armor, which just reduces her to 200 total health. And also now you get the same amount of healing as your teammates, as it is no longer reduced by half in Inspire. These are some big changes. I can't wait to see how they roll out on experimental card. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of you Brig mains out there are probably suffering right now, but you totally deserve it and I have no remorse at all. All jokes aside, I hope these aren't too hard on Brig, but once again, we'll see what happens. Now, next up, we also have some massive Orisa nerfs, as you can see on the screen. Base armor reduced from 250 to 200, not too crazy, but halt, radius reduced from 7 to 4 meters, projectile speed increased from 20 to 30. She does lose 50 armor, which is a hit, but not a crazy one. Now Halt takes a massive shot, losing 3 meters on its radius. Now that is insane. She also got a buff on her projectile speed for Halt, but that is nothing compared to these other things. So for reference, I'm going to have the training range up on the screen, and as you can see, Halt took a huge hit and does not pull nearly as far as it used to. It's probably going to be much harder to hit and react to since it got a faster speed as well, but honestly I think this was a little too much. Maybe 1.5 reduced meters would have been good. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think about this. Next up is Pharah, who's going to be getting a buff here. So her hover jet's movement speed increased by 20%, regeneration rate reduced from 50 to 35 per second, and barrage loses half a second on its duration. So she's basically just relatively faster in the air because of her upgraded movement speed, and I don't think the regen rate will affect how long you're in the air, because if you can manage it, if you're now faster, so you can get the same distance. So it's basically just making Pharah harder to hit, not making her lose any distance when it comes to her jetpack. And on barrage, as it looks like a nerf, I honestly think this is a buff. I mean, how many times when the enemy Pharah ults, like, do you hear the voice line finishing? I mean, it's so easy to kill her. I don't even think at 3 seconds Justice was raining above. I mean, it puts out a lot of damage, but like, in the end, 90% of the time you lose your life while putting out all that damage, unless you're in like a grav or something, or you're shooting into a grav. So yeah. So next up we have some big buffs, and I hate to read these out. I don't think there's a hero in this game I hate as much as Hog. Well, I hate Brig, but I hate Hog more. There is nothing more annoying than getting hooked from 500 miles away. But here we have some Roadhog buffs. Now, it's not to his hook, but it is to his gun. His ammo has been reduced from 6 to 5, and his damage per projectile has been increased from 6 to 7. Now, that is huge. And his recovery increased from 0.7 to 0.85. This damage buff is insane. Roadhog used to do 150 damage, now he does 175, and that is not a headshot. This is going to counter a lot of heroes and going to change comp a lot. I think this is really bad for chunkier heroes like Reaper or Mei or Doom, and it's really scary. I just hope, please Jeff, do not make Hog meta again. I don't want to go through that ever again. It was absolutely terrible. Next up, we have some Sigma nerfs, which I don't really need to explain. It's just a barrier nerf and a kinetic grasp nerf. Not much explaining. His barrier loses 200 health, and regeneration rate has been reduced from 120 to 80 per second. Kinetic grasp cooldown has increased from 10 to 12 seconds. These aren't too crazy. It's just, once again, trying to reduce the shield meta. Now, Symmetra also gets a big buff in these patch notes. Her photon projector, primary fire, has been delayed before losing the charge increased from 2 to 4 seconds, and her teleporter just lost 2 seconds on its cooldown. Now, this basically means she keeps her 3 charge for 2 seconds longer. So say she farmed a shield, then for 4 seconds she would be able to keep that 3 charge ready for a fight. But with these barrier changes, I don't think there will be as much play with double shield. I think everything will be a lot faster, so this isn't too crazy, and her teleporter obviously is just plain and simple buff. Now last but not least, we have some Zen changes. So Zen's secondary fire charge rate increases by 15%, and rate of fire increased from 8.5 to 9 shots per second. So his charge rate on a secondary fire went up 15%, which is a huge buff. You can now get crazy kills with Zen again, and the rate of fire is increased, so this is huge for Zen. I can't wait to see what happens with this one. I think all of these changes are going to change the game a lot, and it's good that these changes are here, to be honest, just because it does keep the game fresh. So personally, I'm okay with most of them as long as they're not things like the Moira buff we got like a week and a half ago. I don't even remember when it was. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of all these changes, and also if you liked the video, please drop a like. It really supports the channel, and if you guys enjoyed the video and want more gaming content and news, hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.